year what was disgusting. We get her stand up with sweet music playing, like she wasn't listening to harmony. That was escaping from this sweet melody. And then music playing, you can do something. You better start to shake the thing. And then all of people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Just shake, can you promise me? Shake, you go shake for me. Shake, people watching me, so I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. And then all of music playing, you gotta do something. You better start to shake the thing. And then people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Lord. Yeah, what them, right? I know you like your disco and rocker, but Trinidad is the true home of soca. Like the baby in a barrel with two. The way how you stand up straight like a statue. And then music playing, girl do something. You better start to shake the thing. And then a lot of people jumping, and you standing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing this afternoon?
Girl, you promise me, shake, you go shake for me.
I hope everybody's doing fine this afternoon. It is the 5th day of September. It is 2 minutes past the hour of 6, and class is in session. Yours truly, Royalty James. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead right now and share up the live. Let them know that I'm here this afternoon for another wonderful evening. To the people on my Facebook page, good afternoon, who are already here. To the persons on my YouTube page, I was very early today. How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen?
Big fat and heavy. And how you have ice blood in your body. But feel like you have on iron clothes. It's 3 hours now, you stand up in one pose. And then
Share up the live right now. And the people listen to me, I'm telling you guys, go subscribe on the YouTube page also.
people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Lord, shake, tell you
I
promise.
think we need more persons on the YouTube page. Go ahead right now and share up the live.
So I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. And then
Let them know that we're here again.
Look, the musicians getting weary. All because you were shaking your body. Like the one getting to an injection to make you jump up and get fit in the back. And then, hold on, music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And then,
So let's get some persons on the live right now.
and you standing.
It is another wonderful day in Grenada.
Girl, you promise me. Shake.
Nice and sunny on the outside for the entire day.
Watching me, so I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. And then, music playing. Girl, do something.
Not at all, Martin Charles.
And then,
Can't stop old school music, by old school music is the best.
start to shake the thing.
I know there's some persons right now and they shaking. I could see them.
Music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And then, people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake this thing. Lord, shake.
Lucy Andrew listening all the way in Trinidad and Tobago, good afternoon to you. To the persons anywhere in the region and more so in the outer part of the world, I must say internationally. The persons in the diaspora, good afternoon to you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is another wonderful evening, and I would like to welcome you into the classroom, ladies and gentlemen. I can say this officially now. Class is now in session. We are ready to start another evening of conversation, another evening that will intrigue you as it relates to whatever conversation, politically or socially. I hope I can give you some form of information that would be edifying, factual, and no more than what the information is intended to do. All right? It is no intent to in no way be obscene, insultive, or threatening to anybody, nor attempt to defamate anybody's character. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say it was somebody saying this is my first time on here because I am out in the diaspora. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please say good evening and a warm welcome to Ingrid Warwood. All right? Ingrid, is your first time being here. Stay for the entire class, and I can tell you, I can bet you that you would not regret being here this afternoon. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, we would have had a wonderful, wonderful press conference by the 23 years of great service to state as Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. He this morning would have done a nice press conference, and he would have touched on some issues and some issues that I think that many of us have heard over the past few weeks and days and more so months, in which we would have had many conversations surrounding them, right? And so today, Dr. Mitchell just elaborated more on some of them, all right? So we want to say a nice deliberation today by Dr. Mitchell, and we did, as per usual, enjoy your bit that you gave, and we want to say God's blessings to you and continue to serve the people of this wonderful nation, Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We want to say happy birthday to our party secretary, that is Mr. Roland Bola. We want to say God's blessings to you on celebrating another wonderful year. I know that you are just in your 20s. You should be about 25. So I want to say good afternoon to Mr. Roland Bola and happy birthday to you, coming from members of the classroom. And I keep telling you guys, when it's your birthday, please tell me. You know, sometimes I just want to say like a happy birthday to you guys too, you know, right? So when it's your birthday, please remind me. But today, we are saying happy birthday to Mr. Roland Bola. So God's blessings to you, sir, that you live to see many and many more to come, right? 25 is a very nice age. You understand me? You're a young gentleman, and I want you to keep to the keep to the standard that you have. You understand? Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start on a topic that Dr. Mitchell would have elaborated on this morning. And let me say this. My service as a police officer between the years, 12 years or so, I believe that I understand the, how should I put, the modus operandi, the regular practice, the expectations of our society when it comes to police officers. And I can say that within the past few months, we have had lots of complaints as it relates to police officers. But I want to zero on something today. Now, we may not understand the effects of what unsolved mystery does, right? I believe at this stage, at least at this stage, the RGPF, or let's say the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, somebody, we have outlined and we know of at least 2 to 3 cases of unsolved murders in Grenada. Now, it is alarming, one, that there is this deafening silence about this. That's the first thing I must say. Now, I can recall that in the last presentation made by the Prime Minister, his national address, he would have asked that the opposition join hands and unite in combating the rise in criminal practices that we would have seen. And so I can recall in recent days, the opposition, the New National Party, went on their page and put out, and even made suggestions, or continues to make suggestions, in at least getting, if it's Scotland Yard, the FBI involved in those investigations that we are presently being faced with as we're labeling as unsolved. Now, unsolved murders to somebody wanting to visit a state is one of the things that they would pay particular attention to. And believe you me when I say this, whenever an individual wants to travel, one of the first things on their list would be security. How safe am I? How protected would I be when I get to that country? This is one of the things anybody wanting to travel may pay particular attention to. Now, we are presently on the third, or we would have had 3 unsolved murders at this stage in Grenada. Something I have not heard of in recent years. However, I am employing that the government at least, or not the government, I shouldn't put it on the government. Let's not zero everything that it is labeled to the government. But the RGPF must take a stance in at least making a step forward in the right direction in dealing with those matters. I want to believe that even if we have 3 unsolved mystery, it means that a murderer is walking amongst us for at least one of them. Let me take it to mean the other 2 is maybe foreigners. But somehow or the other, I believe that there is a murderer walking among us, and it is not customary, ladies and gentlemen, that Grenada be labeled as such. Now, I believe that if our very own can't get it done, I don't see no problem in maybe involving the RSS, Scotland Yard, the FBI, because it brings a bad image to state. And that is what you need to first see. It brings a bad image to state. Because when an individual, and I'm going to say that again, when individuals would want to travel, when they want to travel, they would want to know that they're safe. They want to know that if they go to Grenada, that if something were to happen with them, the crime rates there and the solving crime rates is probable to them if something were to happen. I don't know if it has anything to do with the morals of the RGPF. I don't know if it is persons within the realm that is tampering with evidence and information. I don't know. Now, this is not situations whereby, okay, that we have raging gang violence in Grenada, that, okay, we have that side warring against that side, so that when we meet an individual who's dead, we could say, well, okay, there may be gang war or maybe drug related. All of the circumstances surrounding those different incidents are on a whole different turf. On a whole different turf. So if it is that we can't do it ourselves, because we have gotten used to persons leaving and the country's officials go, they visit other places. So I'm guessing by now, your relations to other countries is nothing wrong in asking, can we or may we please have? It doesn't look good as it relates to state, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where I'm focusing it on. This is where I'm focusing it on. Because if you look at the track record, this is new to us. This is relatively new to us. We're not accustomed with unsolved mysteries in Grenada. And what is even bad about it, there is no press conference being held, no information coming out from the RGPF as to, okay, well, we know we have this matter and that this matter, we are still doing this. Absolutely nothing. The thing about it, having been an ex-police officer, let me tell you something. Investigation must be thorough, and it is one that can run for a very long time. It can happen. Persons can be held 9-10 years down the road. Right? Because we see it happen in bigger countries. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we are in what? Just a few months away from these matters. We're not even a year away. We're not even a year. And at least at this stage, most of the times, you would get little hinting from different, from the different security system saying, well, okay, this is where we're at. We continue to, because when you look at the bigger countries, as I said, at some point in time, you would see that they would do, maybe the lieutenant, maybe the sheriff of the area comes out, have a press conference and say, listen, we're at that stage, we still continue to look for this individual. You give the people some form of assurance. You give them some form of assurance and making them understand that, hey, we are not just sitting on the situations. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3. I'm subjected to corrections. We have 3. And this is enough for somebody to address in some way or the other. And the thing about it, it is not bodies that was found in-house. At least 2 of them was found in public spaces, public areas. So it only means that it is not a situation where somebody went into somebody's house. It happened in the public's domain. Probable. At the end of the day, we know that you have to clear up all ambiguities during an investigation, making sure that substantiable evidence must be found. And so we understand that. We understand the role and function. You have to understand the role and function. And I'm not here to say, well, okay, I'm expecting an answer. What we're expecting is some form of feedback. Public knowledge be disseminated. We don't want to know, well, okay, well, I'll get that statement from X, Y, Z. No. You are not to come and be thorough with public with investigation, information, and making it public. This is not what we want. I know many persons, and let me give all you a little thing as to maybe what all you should come and say. The public is aware as it relates to the matter of XY of John Doe that was found X, Y, and Y, X and Y place. Right? The criminal investigation continues to do the investigation. The process of the investigation has not ceased. And so we have had persons being brought in. Persons have been questioned, X, Y, and Z. About matter of J and John, such and such is it. This is what public relation entails. From an entity of the raw GPF, this is what public relation entails. We don't want to know who you're pulling and what is the name of the person, how long was the statement taken from them. No. But information, credible information that would seek to say to the people, well, okay, we're not sitting on, because any form of speculation can happen. Any form of speculation can happen because we're not hearing anything. Anybody could say, well, they're just studying him because they're just studying her because any speculations can now happen. The last time we heard about the John T situation especially was when Tyler Perry offered what he offered. And then silence again. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, when you are a part of those entities, what is important, as I said, is dissemination of relevant information. Right? It is not an expectation that we know what is being done, but we want to know that something is being done. And we're going months after months after months, and you're going on all little social media all about, and persons are still asking questions. We're talking John T's incident. We're talking that the one in conference. I think there was one right in town. And again, one of the situations that I was privy to have a little video. I saw a little video of one of the incidents in town with the gentleman who fell by the drain. So I don't know if the RGPF is not getting that information same way. Because I got the opportunity to see it. I think it was on Facebook. So what is happening? What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? And this is the question posed in this honorable house, if I may speak. What is happening? That is the question asked. That is the question that is want to be answered. That's the question we want answered. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we ask again. We ask again of the authorities, to whom the powers be. As I said, is not that we're asking for who all your arrests or who all your pick up or who is being questioned. No. I think the public would want to know, satisfy them. Because as I said, there are times 2 months after missing person in bigger countries and other places, and you see I tell you, persons, officers have press conference and they say, you know, we still continue to look for that person. That person, this matter is still under, you know, because it's just a matter of giving the public some form of awareness that something is being done. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, having gone through Facebook today again, I realize that there is a plot that starts happening in terms of a bit of character assassination. And I want to believe my dear brother Nimrod would have fallen under this. Let me say this, people. And let me say this again. Continue to address issues of the names of persons who are on ballot paper and not whose names that are on summons. You are beating war with some people that are irrelevant to the development of this political organization, the New National Party. We have just lost an election, and so we are presently at the drawing board trying to develop the party, go forward, but at the same time addressing issues of relevance. Listen to the word, of relevance. Some of the persons that you all are beating tango with is null and void. Some of the persons that are wanting to beat away with you, it don't making sense. Think of your intellectual capacity and theirs. Think of the manner in which they deport themselves and carry a political conversation. Think of them alone and ask yourself, must I stand or sit or use my whatever device to answer X, Y, or Z? Must I? Allow your actions and information and credibility of information speak for you. I don't have to come here and boast that when I come on my program I give factual information. I don't sit here and spread propaganda. I will listen to me. Let me tell you something. If you walk to me and you say to me, Prince, but that is happening, and many persons have done it, unless confirmed by some credible source, you would hear it on my program. With the many allegations that run around sometime about this, that, and the other, and somebody may message me and say, this is what I hear, you don't find me using it on my program. It don't happen. Let me tell you something. These people are bored. There is nothing else to do. There is nothing being done by the administration they support. So you can find nothing factual on their pages. You can find nothing of government relevance on their page. So they sit back and wait for persons like whomever to make a post, comment on something, then they extract it, they put it up on their page, and then they get a few persons to comment under it, because there is nothing else that the administration is doing to post. You're not seeing them sharing things where a ribbon is being cut. You're not seeing a soil being turned for some new project. You're not seeing something being done of relevance. So nothing else to do than to find somebody's program, talk to somebody on Facebook, extract something, and post on their page. I went to one's page the other day, and all he continues to do is simply put up something what Mosquito Man put up. Then he shares Ride Along. Then he shares Eddie Frederick program. Then he shares this. And then nothing that is administration. You're supporting an administration. And there is nothing on your page of relevance as it relates to the development of state, as it relates to your government you support. Go look at their pages. Go look at their pages. There is nothing of relevance there. They are with me and you and somebody else to say something on our program. They extract it, they look for some comment, and then they make it public. And then they get a few people to comment on it. Nothing of relevance. At one point, when NNP was in power, every time you put on your TV, they cut in a ribbon some way. Don't waste your time on these people. 3 photographs come to me this morning as it relates to an individual posting whatever on Facebook. These people are dramatical mules, you call them. They are fueled by social media conflict. That is what fuels them. That's what they like. That is what have grasped their audience. This one said this, and then you answer them, and then you start this social media fury and drama. First and foremost, I categorize myself as a husband. I ought not to have any other issues outside of anything else but with my wife or my kids. So they don't get my attention like that. I am too busy loving my wife and loving my kids and my family. So when I'm not doing my program, during the day, this is what I'm concerned about. Trying to come up with some other way to ensure that my talent is being seen and I can use it in other ways. I don't sit and wait for persons to write this on Facebook. I see them. I hear them. I don't address them because they are fueled by social media drama conflict. This is what it is. And the minute time you start to address them, they not know more on what the addressing should be about. As I said, it's a simple character assassination. What happened to you there and where you're not there, and your husband and your wife and your children? They speak nothing as it relates to the relevance of the conversation. Go look at their pages. They're always in some conflict, taking something from somebody's page and putting it on theirs for the attention. And then at the end of the day, they ask everybody, oh, he or she is looking for attention. You are addressing issues on Facebook and other places, and you have no relevance to your administration. Hush me up by telling me the $35,000 or the $350 million is being used for that. Shut me up by telling me those things. Stupid conversations. This is what they intend to do. So when you listen to them and you take your time and your energy, as I keep saying, protect your mental health. Let me say something. It was years ago. A gentleman sent me a post. Gentleman sent me a nice post. And I've lived by this up to the date. And just the other day, I saw somebody posted it and I said, watch me, it could be more than 4 years ago. A gentleman sent me this post. I could never forget it. And it reads, your past does not define you. It refines you. Let go of what was and embrace what is. And look forward to what is yet to come. The best is still ahead. So do not look back. Don't stop. And keep pressing forward. People, let me tell you something. When people are stuck in your past and you go back to your past to entertain them, you are going backwards. You hear me? Allow what you do today define you and not what happened in the past. So when you hear they talking and you see they come, check out the conversation. Check out the conversations. Dr. Mitchell used to do that. And Kit Mitchell did that. They are still stuck on the 21st and on the 22nd of June. They're still stuck there. They are still remembering Dr. Kit Mitchell. So leave them there. 3 years to go, they would still be there. And then we are going to refresh the memory that if you so remember us, we are going to be back there again. You can't keep focusing. You understand me? A man tell you cannot play football and you're cursing him and tell him, but your son can play football too. But you're not scoring goals. You're not being picked for the team. You're not the best player on the team. So the man have relevance to talk to you because you're not improving. Now, if you go on the field and you score 3 goals, he can't say nothing. What can he say to you when you have proven yourself? Somebody says to you, you're not you're not equipped to get a job. And you go there and you prove to them that 6 months down the road, you're now a supervisor. This is what speaks for you. But you're not doing anything. Nothing you're doing. And stuck in Dr. Kit Mitchell and the past administration and how much money they owe. And prove to me that you're relevant by doing things that Dr. Mitchell did not do. That is the proof. That is the proof in the pudding. Come in and talk about that someone this morning. We they start speaking about Brother Nimrod and some incident by that past. Excuse me. You understand me? Of past. That is where they're going to be stuck. And I could remember Brother Peter David, last sitting, he said that. He said, while his past administration sat in 2008 and decided to fix every problem of the NNP, the next election cycle around, he wasn't even part of the opposition. Well, not him. He was part of government then. But his party could not even form an opposition. You're not being relevant. You're not being relevant. If you want to speak to me about something, say to me that at the 8th month that we're in, having just entered the 9th month, what has been the substantiable and relevant things of your budget that you have presented in last year's budget debate that we're seeing that is prospering to our Grenadian people? Say that to me. The last nice budget that was read 9 months after. What have we seen from your administration to say to us, listen to me, that was a good budget and this is the profit from the budget? You can't. Talk to me about that. The $350 million that have been what was asked to be loaned. Tell me what is happening to that. Point to me a project or two or some form of development in Grenada of substance that your administration have brought forward? Say that to me. Come in and tell me about this and that and who's spreading propaganda and propaganda. Are you just start to see propaganda? Propaganda just became visual to you guys. You can't say that, ladies and gentlemen, that at the end of the day, you're going to sit on Facebook and somebody's opinion on something. That is the topic we're speaking about. This is the conversation. We're speaking about this. Government is allocating such and such money, $148 million. And you post on it and you ask, well, why government is thing? And then they come under your post. Go and mind your child. Go and mind your child, your wife, your husband. This is the conversation. This is the conversation. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. And I remember mentioning this yesterday. Now, a step forward in the right direction is a lot better than sticking to what have been done in the past. And I would not stop saying that. The past administration, on the many failed issues that was arised or was mentioned by this administration when there was a government in waiting, the many issues that has been arised, we have not seen any form of improvement, but just a set of excuses. A set of excuses. And so when you speak that, they ask you, what excuse? Let's go into the health sector. Oh, $2 million is owed. And hence the reason why we're having that. Why we're having that issue. You speak about the next project. Oh, government didn't do that and allocate that. And everything is some form of excuse. Some form of excuse. All right? Now, Mattis would have posed a question, and I like to ensure that when people ask questions, I like to ensure. So Mattis want to ask if development is visible. Let me get the meaning of the word for you, Mattis, so then we could go across. I don't want to use him. Right. So you ask the question based on what based on what we're getting from. I'm just giving you the definition there. It says an event constituting a new stage in changing situation. That is development. The process of converting. Well, that's a different. I give you all of them. The process of converting land to a new purpose of constructing building or making use of its resources. You ask if development is physical. If those definitions didn't enlighten you, then I don't know what will. Because the event constituting a new stage in changing situation. In changing situation, what is to change? Development can be both. And more so, when you speak of development, persons want to see the change most physical as possible. Physical change is what persons would want to see. Persons don't want to see you are taking black and white on the paper. Persons don't want to know you buy a piece of land and you want to build. Persons want to see the building. This is what persons would want to see. So it is the process of changing. And I'm saying to you, we have not seen any significant change. Most of the things remain the same. Regularization and contract. What has changed? What has changed? Health sector. What has changed? Agriculture. What has changed? Housing. What has changed? What has been the process of changes? This is the question. So we're saying, okay, they might be doing things in the back. But how are we to know? Has government been disseminating this information? Since in July. Since in July. In the address given after the war, for the 1 year, the Prime Minister mentioned that 600 houses would have been distributed. Today is the 5th of September. Today is the 5th of September. Matt is telling me what to speak about. So I should speak about the first one because it's relevant to what you're saying. He's asking, do you know the policies are in place that takes country further? But listen to me. And this is what I can understand. We are not saying that government can't be in the back doing whatever. But let me say what is important in those circumstances. Government have a mandate. They are mandated to inform the public as it relates to the process of government. Because at the end of the day, if government is doing something to cause change to happen, the public must be aware of it. This is what I'm saying. So we're not saying that government might be in the back attempting to make developments, but the public must be aware of it. So you're telling me you're in the process of doing something, and then when you get it done, you come and make the public aware? Is that how it is? Is that how it is? Mattis, don't tell me after 23 years you're stuck in the past of Dr. Mitchell. Use the NNP. You're stuck in the past of Dr. Mitchell. I am in the, listen brother, I'm in the farm. My country is on a transformational agenda. I'm going to tell you about 23 years. I don't want to know about 23 years. I have on the 23rd of June joined my state in the development of a transformational agenda. I'm telling you about 23 years. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about the 23 years. I am seeking forward movement with the NDC. I am seeking forward movement. We have the best Mitchell and we like him. I don't want to know about the old Mitchell. Don't tell me about no old Mitchell. I am in the process of a transformational state. This is what my mind is focused on. Not when people was dying in the hospital. And when we have contract workers in the hospital. I don't want to know about that. We got rid of that on the 23rd of June. We didn't want that. That was a waste. We didn't want that again. And so we forged forward with the National Democratic Congress. And we charged on the transformational agenda. This is what we're on. This is what we're on. This is what we're focused on. Remember 23 years. 23 years what? Tell me of now. Development can be both physical and theoretical. Theoretical, sorry. Yes, government might be in the process of. Government may want to develop, for instance, the Bonnet Bridge. The Bonnet Bridge. It is not in its physical development stage, but we know the process of development has been allocated. The process to have it developed has been allocated. So it can be both physical and theoretical. But at the end of the day, the public must be aware. BNTF came to the Bonnet Government School in Victoria and gave information. And so this is the theoretical process of its development. This is the reference I'm drawing. So when it becomes physical, we can say it has been developed. You understand me? So development can be both theoretical and physical matters. To answer your question. You understand me? It can be both. And the definitions that I gave both. Because the other one is the process of converting land to a new process by constructing buildings. This is they're speaking as it relates to the physical development. The first one spoke as it relates to its theoretical development. But if government is doing something to develop, the public must be aware. And so the Prime Minister addresses, hey, we're in the process of allocating funds for such and such, and so we're in the process for X and Y. But are we hearing those things? Are we hearing those things? This is the question posed. All right? And I'm saying to you, let us put it to facts. Let us put it to facts, ladies and gentlemen. After the last budget reading, what significant form of development have you seen in Grenada? Government, as we mentioned, is continuum. The only thing so far, well, they come and they officially cut the ribbon on Kuma Road. And well, they take it. It's them that do it. Them that do it. The medical station in St. Mark's. Them that do that. That is their work. The traffic light. Them that do that. You understand me? But for the projects and Molinare, River Road, Bonnet Bridge, NNP that do that. Because it's stagnant. It is stagnant. So it's NNP that do that. But all the rest where they just go and they cut ribbon and they open and they like theirs, man. So the traffic light allocation, there was nowhere wrong, but they come now and it's their own. Kuma Road project, like their own. You understand me? The medical station in Victoria is their own. You understand me? Look at that beautiful health center in Guav. You want to run down Minister Darby about. Look at it today. He was met there. You can't find notice. Well, you can't even find the minister, the parliamentary rep for the tongue of for St. John's. My question is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the relevance of a conversation. I'm trying to come and assassinate anybody's character. Prove to me that I should shut up when you could say to me, your government is doing that. Many. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, this is what you have to prove to me. Martis is saying again, oh gosh, here we go again. Martis, come out in the, you're stuck in the past. But cause you all inherited many projects at NDC last election as well. Martis, you're stuck in the past. And this is my problem. Stop giving me the comparison of a failed administration in that of the New National Party. You all say they didn't go, they don't good. Why are you comparing your administration of to date with them? I don't understand that. Somebody do good and I keep comparing myself with them. They failed and because they failed, I could fail. I like, you see, I always say government is continuum in the relevance of them. So government will continuum in the Molinare project. Ceased. Government will continuum in the River Road project. Bonnet Bridge project. Government is not continuum. Government is continuum satisfactory to them. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? That is how it comes. And anytime you hear they speak of government is continuum, check on the resources. Check on what has happened there. Check and see if it's not everything. You understand me? See if not everything is not there. And what makes it even worse, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, when they go to those projects that has been there 80-90% done, they praise themselves. Never speak as it relates. And you heard Peter David speaking about it. Minister stands up and speak about a flickering light in the parliament building. A flickering light in the parliament building. But found it was hard to mention about the parliament building that was built under the New National Party. I always say that. I can recall in one of the very first sitting after the New National Party won the 2013 election. One of the first things Dr. Mitchell did was thank Patrick Simmons for the lighting and the installation of light in Plainfield in Grenada. And every time I try so hard to work on getting that piece of clip, and I go work harder to get it. Dr. Mitchell stood in the House of Parliament and congratulated Patrick Simmons, the outgoing at the time. The outgoing at the time Minister of Sports congratulated him on the initiative taken. I remember Franca Bernardine also was mentioned as it relates to the free school book initiative. And these are the things that this administration continue and fail to do. That is what they fail to do. Everything. Government is continuum on the satisfactory to them. Somebody, I just flicked my idea and somebody messaged me and asking me, somebody's asking me about the accident. I'm going to, I left the accident conversation for last. You understand me? I left the accident conversation for last. We'll get to it, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I continue to say to them, I need not to hear as it relates to the character assassination. I am focused on you proving to me, showing to me that your administration, and I think somebody would have said it is physical and social, and so I think that is the better terminology for when you speak of development and not theoretical, because theoretical most speaks as it relates to, maybe writing, as somebody may say, but I think the proper terminology should be both physical and sociological, right? And I want to believe that that is the terminology to be used for it, all right? So, but it doesn't differ. It doesn't differ most in the situation that we're speaking about, all right? So I'm saying to you, ask them. Go on the page when they're talking to you and say, listen to me, let me focus on the topic at hand. Give to me after 9 months, heading into month number 9, after a budget has been read. You recently asked for supplementary. Asking for supplementary. We're not asking for it. You said you just want an approval. You just want the parliament to say, yes, you could do it. So you're saying yes without even knowing the circumstances surrounding the loan or whatever. As you say, you hope you get it in grant, right? So let's hope you get it in grant. And if you get it in grant, then that's a good. But if it's a loan that would be given, you ask this country to say yes on a loan, and we have not yet for redefined prints, right? So we are with defined prints to be given, and then you say based on it, you would make a decision, all right? The long-awaited conversation. Let me say this, people. In my 12 years as a police officer, I spent over 8 years within the traffic department. Right? I am in no position, absolutely none, to say whether or not an individual is wrong or right in an accident. An accident happened. I think, you empathize because it was a situation involving an individual. The conversation of hospitalization was mentioned. And at this stage, I haven't heard anything about the state of the young man that was involved. And this is where my focus lies. I am not going to expound on this conversation as to say, to make any political conversation about it. Accident happens to nearly everybody. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, police officers, whomever, right? And I don't think in my vein, I should say, that is my opinion, right? I would not be one to mention it as to doing an assessment as to the accident, right? I think that what is important here is finding out the state of the young man that was involved in the accident and his well-being. I hope that he's fine and he recovers nicely, right? And this is my take on it. Somebody says he have a broken pelvic discharge and given 30 days bed rest. All right. So here we have the information. So his pelvic is broken and he was discharged and he's on 30 days bed rest. So we pray for his well-being. We pray that he gets well soon. And let's just take this stance as it relates to that. Right? And people avoid the conversation. Avoid the conversation. This is where it is. And this is the only advice. This is the only advice I can give. Right? Right and who wrong, and I'm not into this. To me, my concern, this is a pedestrian involved. A young man. Thank God at this stage that it was not fatal. And this is where we need to stand. We should take the stance on it. Right? We pray for his development. Right? We pray that, everything is well with him. Because it's not another vehicle that was involved in the accident where you can simply go and buy an expert or order an expert. Right? And this is simple my stance on this whole situation. Right? Whether or not, who was speeding or who weren't speeding, that is up to the police to decide. Right? This is up to the police to decide. I am not going to make it a political conversation for a reason more than one. I think I have the experience enough to understand what an accident or how accidents do happen. Some that are avoidable, some that are not avoidable. And I don't think, and I'm begging you guys, let's not take it into the vein of a political jubilation. I don't think everybody's doing it, but we have to be careful how we disseminate the information, because as I said, they're waiting for that. They're waiting for that. They want to bash you on that because everybody's had to speak propaganda. You understand me? Because in Carla's situation, one of my best students, right? I can say she simply spoke as it relates to the time that the driver got his license and so on. And that was our conversation. I don't think it was about the accident itself per se, right? But however, she was made a topic on a particular, Facebook page. But I'm saying to you, it's better you just leave it alone, right? You leave it alone, like I am doing. I don't address it at all, because you see what their fuel. You see what fuels them, right? You see what fuels them, because we're on the conversation as it relates to whatever, and then they trying to assassinate Brother Nimrod already, right? In saying what he says, you understand? And I don't think that we need this right now. Allow these people to, as we were saying local terminology, dance in the section. They enjoy their time, they have their fun, but we just try to ensure that the information, and when we're giving information that is more relevant than a confusion, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it was a wonderful evening, wonderful evening. We would have had conversations that I believe that could aid in somebody's development, and facts that can back up what we're speaking about. All right. Nimrod is now asking me to define an analysis. I think they know what analysis mean. I don't think I think they know what analysis mean. But you see, as I said, and I would continue to say, politics is a very sensitive conversation. And what we're seeing as of late, that many persons are speaking politics through ignorance. You don't understand politics. You may not understand what is happening. You support a side, you voted aside, and you don't follow it like that, you wash your mouth. I remember for years I used to be like that. I voted NMP, and whatever happened, I tried my best sometime to just have my little scope. You understand me? I have my little scope in whom I speak with. Right? But politics is very, very, very sensitive. Very sensitive. So, speaking politics and speaking it publicly, especially in the social media platform or on social media platforms, as I say to you, it is more of a character assassination and not a situation whereby persons are trying to edify or educate you. it is more so to bring you down and say something bad about you. Look at the comments when a political conversation is being. You go in the comment section. Nothing relevant to the status. Watch the status and watch the comments. So irrelevant to the conversation. Because it becomes, as I say, a character assassination conversation more than discussing the issue at hand. Right? And very few, I could tell you that. Very few I would meet and we would sit and have a conversation about politics. And of a recent, they start to get less and less and less. Because I realize persons are on all kind of conversations. All kind of things. You understand me? So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, it was a pleasure, having been here with you for another wonderful Tuesday evening. You understand me? Again, would leave you guys with Mattis is saying that's why we should not make enemies over politics. The Bible says to love your neighbors as yourself. Let's continue to do that. Love my NMP folks, except royalty, James. You don't love me, boy. You adore me. You adore me, Mattis. And Mattis, please, I tagged you in a post on Facebook. Please respond to it. I mean, I'm still waiting. You understand me? But again, let me leave you with a quote for this evening. I said to me that says, your past does not define you. It refines you. Let go of what was. Embrace what is and look forward to what is yet to come. The best is still ahead. So don't look back. Don't stop. And keep pressing forward. All right. So I hope this quote stays on the hearts of many of you guys today. All right. And I want to pronounce the word properly, heart. All right. Because they take in heart and say, well, my subject and my verb do agree. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was another wonderful evening with you guys. To the persons, on my Facebook page, I want to say thank you again, Carla Walcott, Mr. Nimrod, Martis, Sister Dubois, Miss Marilyn Ferguson. You guys are always there, and I want to say thank you for your support. The people over on my YouTube page, it is a pleasure. I'm not being a biased teacher. I don't want to be biased. But you see the people on my YouTube page, you all got a special love for me, man. You guys have a special love from me because you know what? Not everybody loves the YouTube thingy, right? Not many persons are into the YouTube page of things. Everybody Facebook. But you see, when you tune in on YouTube, I mean, you guys are special, man. You guys are a special. Somebody saying what time class is finishing. The reason why I ask is because I will be rebroadcasting the press conference with Dr. Mitchell at 7 p.m. on WFM Radio. I think Charles says they're doing a rebroadcasting of Dr. Mitchell's press conference this morning. So it is 7, it's 3 minutes past 7. So I guess you guys can jump over onto WFM to get a rebroadcasting. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. God's blessings to you guys, and may God be with each and every one of you. I am until the next election. All Matt is registered already. I'm trying to bring him to get registered. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening, and God's blessings to you. I am out.
Last year what was disgusting, we get her stand up with sweet music playing, like she wasn't listening to harmony. That was escaping from this sweet melody. And that music playing, we can do something. You better start to shake the thing. And that, oh Lord, people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Lord, shake. From shake. You go shake for me, shake. People watching me, so I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. And tell, hold on, music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And tell people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Lord. I know you like your disco and rocker, but Trinidad is the true home of soca. Like the baby in a barrel with you. The way how you stand up straight like a statue. And music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And a lot of people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Shake, girl, you promise me. Shake, you go shake for me. Shake, people watching me, so I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. And music playing, girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And all of people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing, Lord. People say you're big, fat and heavy, and how you have ice blood in your body. But feel like you have on iron clothes. It's 3 hours now, you stand up in one pose. And all of music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Shake, girl, you promise me. Shake, you go shake for me. Shake, people watching me, so I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. And music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. Look, the musicians getting weary, all because you were shaking your body, like you want me give you an injection to make you jump up and get fit in the band. And hold on, music playing. Girl, do something. You better start to shake the thing. And people jumping, and you standing. You better start to shake the thing. But shake, girl, you promise me.